Well, thank you, Osho Makori, there giving us a brief on everything that we have on sports, including Gor Mahia's performance with Supersport. And who better to talk to us other than Dylan Carr, the current Gor Mahia coach, who's with the team and qualified for the Confederation Cup group stages. It took you 31 years, or rather not you, but the team 31 years to go back to the Confederation Cup. The last time they had such an achievement was in 1987, winning the Mandela Cup. Perhaps, what do you make of the achievement?
It's amazing, and it's a part of history. But since I arrived in Kenya, from the first day, my chairman, he was adamant that this is what his dream, to qualify for CAF, for the Champions League. We didn't do that, unfortunately. We didn't score any goals in Machakos, which cost us big time. But every day, there's so many people that wanted us to do well in this competition. And we've listened to the history of Gor Mahia. Now we're going to present a future of Gor Mahia. We've written a new chapter. We've qualified for the Confederations Cup against a lot of people's expectations. Nobody, I don't think anybody gave us a fighting chance, but you know, credit to my players and my technical staff and my team manager, and especially my chairman, and obviously Governor Sonko for giving us the money for the flights. We've got there, and even though we got beat in Supersport, it's a very, very daunting place to go. They're a very, very top PSL South African team, and also they were runners-up in last year's final. So we've done very, very well. Credit to everybody involved. Looking
at it, there were more challenges, not only in terms of finances, also in terms of having other players join you in the return leg in South Africa. But perhaps the challenges, at some point, did you lose the morale that the team was not going to South Africa?
No, to be honest, the TM phoned me and said, don't worry, we're working very hard to get it organised. But you know, the issues of visas, the issues of players are coming, players are not coming. The preparation was horrendous, I must admit, for a coach. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to do my job as professionally and as best to my ability to give us the advantage. And things like not having a ticket the day before we were supposed to travel, and not having a ticket at 4 o'clock in the evening on Tuesday. We were still waiting for tickets. And then I found out that Jax and Ephraim, our two strikers, two of our three strikers, they weren't available. So that again, you know, now I had to readjust the side, because I didn't want to go there defensive, because it gave them the opportunity to attack more. But I had no other option, because I only had one striker. And in the second 45 minutes, in the last 20 minutes, they used that advantage and they bombarded us with balls in the penalty area. But credit to our players, our defenders, and Bonnie, our goalkeeper. They defended really, really well, apart from two errors, which we usually defend well on them. But that happens in football. If you're under pressure, sometimes it's going to crack.
Looking at it, you've been in Kenyan football for now more than 6 months. You are aware of the challenges that all teams have. Finances is something that you well know that with all the teams we have. Sponsorship rather, is something also very rare with other clubs. These are the challenges that you know or you are aware with the Kenyan football. Is it something you welcome, or what do you think can be done?
No, because at the end of the day, I'm responsible for the team. I'm responsible for the club. So all the stuff that happens in the background outside of the football field, that's not my problem. And yet, if the results go bad, or players don't perform, or something goes wrong with the result, you know, the responsibility lies on me. It doesn't matter that we can't afford this and there's no sponsor. Everything relies on the coach. And no, it's not fair, but I understood before I came to this club that Gor Mahia was a fantastic big club. I should have joined in 2014, but I was contracted in Vietnam, so I didn't come, and Frank Natal came, and he had some very good success. But you know, being here, I've been here 10 months now, and it's been an amazing experience. But if you ask my chairman, I'm very patient, and I know a lot of foreign coaches, they wouldn't deal with this the way I have dealt with it. And it's something that I'm very proud of, that I understand African football and I know how it works. And you know, I've just got to get the best out of my players. And certainly since I came back from the UK for the Christmas break, before we started the season, the players that have come to the club and the players that I've got have been fantastic. They've grown up. They've grown up.
All right, looking at it, all challenges said and done, we're now ahead. We're in the Confederation Cup, perhaps. What is your target now moving forward? All that is good for Kenyan football so far.
Well, the first thing was we had to. You've said it before. With no sponsorship, there's hardships in Kenyan football, and what we've done. I think we've rejuvenated the football fraternity and sports in Kenya, because with the sponsorship being withdrawn from all sports, you know, a lot of clubs are struggling, especially in football, and you know we've give maybe a bit of optimism now that we've put Kenya back on the African map of football. Like I said, 1987 was the last time that probably Gor Mahia was mentioned in the breaths of African football. Now we're back. Now we've got to go and make sure that we keep our standard, keep our professionalism, keep our work rate, and keep the enthusiasm that these players have shown. Because the game against Supersport was tough. It was tough. To beat them in Attridgeville in their back garden was a fantastic feat for my players, and you know, credit to everybody in the club that were involved, but also credit to the fans, because without the fans, the football club doesn't exist.
All right, we have the draws that are later this afternoon at around 3 p.m. and there are two pots for the draws that will be happening later on. We have North African clubs, USM Al-Jazz, Al-Hilal of Egypt, as AS Vital club from DRC, and Imba from Nigeria are in pot 1, and Gor Mahia, among other teams from the Ivory Coast, Mali, Morocco, as well as Yanga of Tanzania, East African side as well, who are in the Confederation draws. These are the teams that you may be meeting in the Confederation Cup draws in any group that you'll be put. Perhaps, what are your expectations out of it all?
Well, I mean, the thing is that I'm very, very precise in my football programme. I like to be organised. I like to take at least a week, maybe 10 days to try and watch, analyse, see DVDs, speak to people in Africa about certain players, to find the strengths, to find their weaknesses. I didn't get that chance against Esperance, both home and away. I didn't get that chance against Supersport away because of the travel issues and so on. But what I've got to do, I've got to give my team the best chance, the best opportunity to win, not just at home, but also to go away and win the game, because that important away goal, you know, got us through to the qualifying group. So we've got to make sure, I've got the players to do that. You know, it's just the look that we seem to not have at the moment is scoring goals. We're keeping many a clean sheet, which is fantastic from our back five, but we're not actually putting the ball in the back of the net, and we're creating maybe 10, 15 chances per half of good scoring chances. So we do it every day in training, shooting, and it's very, very good. But obviously in the games it's not quite happening at the moment. But we'll keep progressing, and we'll keep trying, and we'll keep working hard.
We talked to a few of your players who are here upon arrival on Friday, as well as yesterday when they were here with us, and they told us about some of what they seek to achieve. Some are seeking to see if they can come out of the group stages. Some are also, among them, Kahata, who scored the lone goal. What do you make of Kahata as well, and their targets seeking to see if they can qualify from the group stage? Well,
I've always said to the players, you know, there's a lot of things, and this is from a personal perspective. You know, a lot of people said I wasn't good enough, you know, and I wanted to prove them wrong. And I had a very, very successful winning career as a player, and I've had a very successful winning career as a coach so far. And I've said to these players, you know, you've got to make something of your lives. This is a short career, you know, and you've got to be remembered. You know, as a grandparent, when you've got grandkids, you've got to be able to show them a medal, show them pictures that you played in different parts of the world, that you've gone and achieved something. And I think they've got it. I think they've got that mentality. I saw it against Esperance at home, where everybody again didn't give us a chance. I saw it in Esperance away, where we made a mistake which cost us the qualification. But to play in Supersports, like I say, in Supersports home ground, they weathered the storm. They fought. They were so brave, and they wore their hearts where they should wear it, right on the sleeve, and they did everything. And I think they see the bigger picture, and that takes a lot to try and get into the players' minds that there's so much out there if you want it, but how you're going to get it is up to you.
All right, your advice seeming to go so far with the team's morale in the team. But then let's listen to Kahata, who talked to us upon arrival from South Africa in the return leg.
Ilikuwa bao ya maana kwa timu yetu. Ukiangalia tukienda huko tulikuwa tumeenda tutafuta hiyo bao moja na ingine, na nasema nashukuru matimetu wangu hiyo effort na kupata hiyo bao. Nasema kweli before tutoke tumekuwa na shida za visa, shida za mambo mingi, lakini tunashukuru wale watu wenye walishughulika na hizo vitu wakatusaidia hadi dakika ya mwisho. Tunashukuru gavana wetu Sonko kwa kuingilia kati na kusaidia kwenye ticket, na pia wenye walishughulika na mambo ya visa na kufanya timu kusafiri, yani tukio si wote.
Wewe kwa maoni yako kwenda mbele, Gor Mahia tuione wapi? Umeingia awamu ya makundi.
Kwa sasa nasema kitu cha maana ilikuwa kwenye group stage. Sasa kuanzia na hapo si wenyewe kwa mazoezi na kuingia kwenye group stage, sasa tuweze kucheza as in tuweze hizi games za home tuweze kushinda as in tumeke mark nyingine tena.
Kulingana na level ya hiyo timu ya Supersport na equipments wako nazo, mechi ilikuwa ngumu, lakini tulingangana kwa wachezaji tukapata ushindi.
Na lile bao ulijifunga, ilikuwaje kwamba ukajifunga?
Hiyo ni kawaida ya mechi. Hiyo happen hata kila mahali mwa nchi kufanyika, ilikuwa deflection, bahati mbaya. Lakini after hapo tulikomboa bao after muda kidogo.
Okay, despite having lost 2-1, perhaps something that you've heard they're saying they seek to see if they can go qualify and get out of the group stage. Kahata advising the players to now go and fight. What do you think you carried from, or any lessons you carried from South Africa?
I've got battlers. I've got people that have, realised now that, football is there to be enjoyed, but you've got to put yourself right on the firing line to be the best, and that's something that I preach every day to them in training. I don't accept poor standards. I don't accept the second best, and I've always said to them, everybody remembers a winner. Nobody remembers number 2, number 3, number 15. They always remember number 1, and that's what you've got to be. And a lot of teams in especially in the KPL, they want to beat Gor Mahia. They want to beat Gor Mahia because we are a good team, and it's a bragging rights as we do it in the derby. Other teams are going to tomorrow. Thika, we play tomorrow. They want to be the first team to take 3 points off us. So we've just got to keep building, keep being strong, keep being positive, and hopefully all the issues off the field will be resolved, i.e. Wallasimbi, the sponsorship, and then we can concentrate, let the players concentrate on the league and on the Confederations Cup, because we've got a very, very busy programme now. We're already 3 games behind, and 4 today with some clubs, but we've got a good programme that my players work hard in training to get the recovery, and tomorrow we will travel to Machakos and we'll prepare. Right, I've got a headache which team I'm going to select tomorrow, but I have a headache every day.
Many players seeking to see if they can get into into the team Gor Mahia as well. Many teams also seeking to see if they can beat Gor Mahia. But perhaps you're going to see if you can win against Thika United tomorrow. You talked about going to see if you can win the league unbeaten. Is this something you can achieve?
I said that last year when I came. Unfortunately, we turned up against Mathari last year and we thought we'd won the 3 points easy. And it cost us. We lost the game, which I wasn't happy about after that game, because I could see it in the pre-match warm-up and when we're travelling on the bus, the atmosphere wasn't right, and I saw it in the game, and that's something you learn as a coach. You have to you have to see things to see what's right and what's wrong. You have to put it right, and it's like I've said about Kenyan football. On the whole, we need to make a plan. There needs to be a plan in place, and we need to see, right, we've got to qualify for AFCON in 2019, we've got to qualify for the World Cup in 2022, which in Qatar is going to be out of this world. And we've got to make a plan. We've got to get everybody together that's involved in football, take what's good, keep it, and the rest, either if it's bad, we get rid of it, and then the stuff that we can work with, we introduce that, and we go forward, because every football fan in Kenya wants Kenyan football to be successful, and that's what I want with Gor Mahia, to be successful.
From where you sit, do you think Gor Mahia is also well managed in the way you feel it should be?
From the technical side of things, I've got a great assistant, a great goalkeeping coach. I've got a team manager that works very, very hard. Everybody involved in the football side of it works very, very hard, and that includes my chairman, my CEO, and the people in the background. And I think we've got it right. I mean, one of the beauties about this club is that the chairman leaves me alone. He lets me do my job. Sometimes when he's not happy, he'll come and tell me, which is perfect. And if I've got a problem, I'll just pick up the phone and speak to my chairman. And you don't get that support in a lot of football clubs in the world, and mine just Africa. And that's again through experience. So I just think it's the effect that the sponsorship withdrawal has affected not just Gor Mahia but everybody. But what we try and do, if there's a problem, we try and sort it. And we actually did that on Tuesday afternoon. Like I said, we sorted it at 4 o'clock. We sat with the governor. The governor spoke well about what he wanted to do with the 5 stadiums in Nairobi he wants to redevelop. And I spoke to him afterwards and I said, look, you know, let me help, let me have some input to help you, because I'm a football person, I'm a football fan. I'm not a mercenary, I'm not here purely for financial gain. I'm here to help these players, I'm here to help Gor Mahia, as I have done in previous roles as assistant and as head coach with the club, to try and get the best out of everybody and be the best. And so far it's worked.
And so far it has worked for you, and the management are happy. And one of the organizing secretaries, that is Judith, had something to say about the sponsorship.
Tumekuwa tunategemea wafadhili kadhaa. Tumekuwa tukitegemea pia serikali. Serikali ilikuwa inatupatia tiketi za ndege, lakini wakati huu wa South Africa hatukupata usaidizi kwao. Kwa hivyo dakika ya mwisho tukapata usaidizi kutoka kwa kiongozi mmoja, gavana wa Nairobi. Kwa hivyo sisi kama team ni ya community, tunaomba tu viongozi wetu wajitokeze wa support team. At the same time tunaomba mashabiki, fans, tulileta hii membership drive. Tunataka mashabiki wenyewe wakuje wa own club, waweze kutoa pesa wa sponsor club au wenyewe, ndio wakati hata kama hatuna sponsor tunaweza pata njia ya kujihudumu.
Well, talking of sponsorship, SportPesa are seeking to have a meeting with Gor Mahia as well as AFC Leopards and the ministry in the same issue of sponsorship, to see if they can come back. Not that to say that they had left, because they hadn't given an official meeting of having left. Something that you want carried forward, perhaps. Everything sorted finally for your team as a whole. Is it something moving forward that can be sorted?
I hope so, because it's not just football that's, like I said before, it's not just football that's struggling. The whole sports fraternity is struggling, and it does affect, because it's an expensive business on the field as well as off the field. So we have to get the balance right. We have to make sure that, yes, the government are working on trying to get revenue for the country, but you know, SportPesa are a company that work on a profit margin, and if they can come to an arrangement and everything can be sorted out, and then we can get back into helping local teams and helping the local football and sports fraternity, I think it'll be a win-win situation for everybody, because it needs investment. Stadium needs investment. Grassroots. You know, I walk around Nairobi every day, and I watch as many football games with school kids as I can, and I see sometimes you've got 100 kids chasing one football on a field that's not even walkable, near mind playable. And you know, with that investment from sponsorship, that's only going to be a positive thing for young kids. And today when I'm walking down, I walked from the junction today down to the studio, and so many people smiling and so many people happy, and little kids, you know, Kogalo, and they appreciate what we're doing. And right. You know, it's a handshake, and it's an hello and a smile and abariako, and it's fantastic for me. And I'm trying to portray Gor Mahia as a leader in developing something in football, so we can get the next generation of superstars that will hopefully one day qualify for a World Cup finals, because that's the be all and end all in football.
All right, in 1987 there was an issue of sponsorship, but then Gor Mahia went ahead to win the Mandela Cup, and one of the players who played in that match, Peter Dow, had something to say about their victory then.
What happened during our time was we used to have good time for training, and also traveling time. We used to travel about maybe a week before a particular match. But you see, like Gor now, the other day they're traveling the same day, which is not easy for them, maybe to win a match. So the preparation used to be so good, acclimatization. So when you're going to play in a certain country, you used to train in the environment almost the same to the country you're going to play. So it should also be the same with Gor Mahia now. What's happening now, you see, football has become commercial. Okay, during our time, it was not commercial. We were playing for passion. Now you see the club has a lot of things to do financially. They have to pay players, they have to pay accommodation, all those things. We never used to be paid. You get me? They're paying huge salaries. We never used to get huge salaries. We never used to get salaries. So it's very difficult for a club now, which is not having any sponsor. It's very difficult.
Difficult, he says, but FKF President Nick Mwendo had also something to talk about Gor Mahia's victory and qualifications to Confederation Cup.
Let's see what they do in the group stages. Starts to think that if you're a local club and you can do better than them, then surely you can do better in the continent. And now there's more money in the continent as well. I think it starts to make sense to do that, but it's a hard job because you need, what, 8-9 million every time you're stepping out there. So if you're going to have 5-6 outings, it makes the whole budget business tricky. Tricky, but it can be done because there are clubs in Africa that are doing it perennial appearance. And so we hope that this can be achieved more and more.
All right, that has been Nick Mwendo talking about Gor Mahia's preparations. Talking about the preparations, what will you be doing to prepare for that match as well as to balance the league and the busy schedule, if I can say?
We've just got time management. It is, we've got to make sure that the players, this morning we trained at 6 o'clock in the morning, so the players were up at 5. They got to the training to Yo-Yo for 5:45. We trained for 2 hours, but it was a light session. It was a fun session. It's just trying to keep everybody injury free, trying to keep everybody motivated, and it's trying to give them the psychological part of, right, what's there for me, what's in it for me as a player, what's in it for me and my family. But I can only do that if I've got the other players on board, because if one of them's not on board, then it spoils it for the rest of us. And that's the biggest thing in football. You've got to have the right mentality. And again, it's from experience, playing at Leeds United, playing at Reading, playing at Sheffield Wednesday, playing at Kilmarnock in Scotland.
Issues of contract from your players as well has also been sorted?
Well, I don't know how the issues are working off the field. I just concentrate with the football and the green grass.
All right, thank you so much. That has been Dylan Carr, Gor Mahia coach, who's seeking to see if Gor Mahia can continue and bring back the glory that was back then in 30 years ago in 1987. But if I can take a few of your tweets here, we have Daval Opwapo saying, here is, or the government of Kenya, FKF, here is the ambassadors in the game you have been craving for. The opportunity has availed itself. Invest. We have Abdallah Mdambo saying, yeah, I'm watching from Uganda, and my congratulations to Gor Mahia team for improving that even in East Africa with professional players. What do you make of the coach or rather one of these players or fans here saying that Gor Mahia is a good ambassador? Coach?
I think he's 100% because we've got things right both on and off the field as a football club. And like I said, we've got we've got a hard-working chairman and everybody that's involved in Gor Mahia, and especially the Kogalo fans. So we've got it right, and like I say, we've brought a breath of fresh air into Kenyan sport by qualifying for Confederations Cup.
All right, Daval again here says, hoping for the best in today's draw. Wishing Gor Mahia success there in the draws. So keep talking to us. #TopSport at Brian Otwal, at Yoshua Makori.